What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Another 515 Sports Podcast. Myself, Brock Beirman. We told you guys we were going to do WrestleMania podcast, so here we are. I know we have some wrestling people that watch. Mostly, me and Brock just really enjoy watching wrestling. So, WrestleMania, potentially the best WrestleMania of all time. Obviously, we don't know because it hasn't happened yet, but the build-up and the matches and everything the lead up has the potential to be. The stage is set. Let's just say that.
I am juiced up, man, for this weekend. Night one is going to be exciting, and then night two, like we were talking before we went on this and started recording this episode, is filled with gimmick matches, potentially another gimmick match depending on night one. And I'm telling you what, I'm very critical when it comes to WrestleMania because it's the Super Bowl. The difference between this and sports, because this is sports entertainment, is that this is scripted, like the predetermined sporting event. The only time that you can actually do that and get away with it. Right. So they take a whole year to build up to this, and the way that they built it this year has been done really well. And I'm excited to see where some of these matches go, where some of these storylines go, and because in my opinion, this is going to set up the next year and what could be a dramatically different WWE, because we've had someone with holding one title for 3.5 years, 4 years almost. Heck, we were both in college. Well,
freshman year.
Yeah, you were at BV. I was at DMAC. when Roman Reigns, of course, won the did he win the Universal first, right? Yeah, Universal title first, and then he beat Lesnar at Mania 38 to win and become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Man, I want to get your initial thoughts on the card, or just kind of what you're looking forward to on this, what should be an amazing night. I guess do you want to just start with night one, really?
Yeah, we can go night one first. Night two is obviously got the main event that everybody's looking forward to, but night one is no slouch of a night either.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, just looking at this card, I don't know if this is in the exact order of when they're going to happen, but I know this is a tag team match, but we're still in my opinion, I'm counting this as Rey Mysterio versus Dominic Mysterio Part 2. Like, come on. Like, that was a great match last year at Mania 39. Now we got Santos and in a tag team match this time. What are your thoughts on this match? I mean, I don't want this match to open, I'm not going to lie, because I don't think it would get as big of a pop as it would in the middle of the card. But what are your opinions?
I mean, if you haven't ever seen Dragon Lee wrestle, that dude is an absolute dog in the ring. Doing hurricanratas, just absolute crazy stuff. I think, it's an interesting match because you have Ray and Dragon Lee on the same team. Like, it's not like a passing of the torch, but I think you could definitely view it that way, right? Like, Ray's passing the torch to Dom for the future or to Dragon Lee for the future of Lucha Libre, or whatever you may say. And, maybe he could have passed it to Dom, but Dom's on the other side. Like, there's a lot of good storylines here. But just straight wrestling rise, like, if you haven't seen Dragon Lee, you'll be surprised. Yeah, because that dude, and honestly, out of the four, Dragon Lee might be the best wrestler. No disrespect to Mr. 619 himself, but I think you could.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with you on that one. Like, he's so entertaining. Well, he fits this generation more than anybody else, I guess. Yeah. Ray definitely fit the generation that he was. It's, I don't know how to explain it. It's like having too much of the same thing is bad. Yeah. So like having these Lucha Libre wrestlers who are actually different than what we're normally used to seeing, and they can still actually put on really good matches instead of just flipping around and that's pretty much it. Because Dragon Lee can wrestle. He's not just he's a high flyer. Don't get me wrong, but but I'm telling you what, I'm more excited to see what Dom can do in this match. Dominic, okay. When he first started out, I was not sold. I was like, this guy is absolute trash. I'm sorry. Like, this guy will not do anything for me. I don't ever want to see him have any success. And now, in my opinion, out of these 4, he's the most popular one in this match, and I'm a huge fan. Him turning heel, of course, leading to the match with Ray last WrestleMania, was perfect for his career, and it really benefited himself. Him pairing up with the Judgment Day, especially with Rhea Ripley, which we'll get into them later in this podcast. But I really like this match. This is going to be a good one. I don't know. Maybe it does start tonight. I guess I don't know if this is the official order or whatever. I just found it off of Senior Triple H's
Mr. H
website, or I guess his Instagram, and just took these. So shout out Triple H for these amazing graphics.
Shout out Mr. H if you see this podcast. Love you.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean that'll be an interesting match for sure.
This one I think was I didn't watch last week. I'm not gonna lie. The last 2 weeks I've been very busy. So the fact that I'm even aware that this match was gonna happen is beyond me. Do you know the background? You're gonna have to fill me in. What's the background on this match? Because I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the matches I'm out of the loop because of my chaotic schedule the last couple days.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, first off, before we get into that, Jade Dog, just Jade Goat. But come back to this when Dakota Kai is the singles champ at some point. Dakota Kai is an absolute dog. Like when I watch Dakota Kai wrestle, it's just I don't know. I think she has so much aura and is actually a really good wrestler. Pretty good on the mic. Like she will be a singles champ in WWE one day. I would put a large sum of money on that. But I mean, this match, right? If you've been keeping up, came about because you have Bayley with Damage Control, the whole thing. Bayley splits up. She's facing Io, obviously.
That's gonna be a great match.
We'll get to that later too. So basically, like the classic. Oh, Damage Control. The rest of Damage Control, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai starts beating up on Bayley. Needs somebody to save Bayley. Naomi comes in, and then Bianca comes in, not because she's friends with Bayley, but because Naomi needs help. And then Jade makes her appearance, and that's kind of how that happened. It was honestly, I wouldn't say it's like a filler match, but I think
that's what it sounded. That's what it looked like when I saw this.
It's like in my opinion, it's like we're gonna need some more time. Like we could do without this match, but also like it's not a bad match to have.
When like imagine having Bianca Belair main event night 1 of WrestleMania. What was it? 38, 37. Good Lord, I'm getting my number.
It wasn't Roman Lesnar because
I think it was 37 because 36 was the COVID year.
Yeah.
So main eventing night 1 of 37, and then a few years later leaving her off the card. I'm not saying that was the move. Because let's be honest, the women's division right now in this on their roster is stacked. It is the most stacked roster in the business, and so you can't leave Asuka off either. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like it's like we don't need like a filler match, but we can't leave. Like, are you really? I mean, I could see you not having Jade in a WrestleMania match. Like I could see that, but at the same time, like that's your second biggest signing ever from AEW. It maybe first, like when they were signed, maybe you could argue, but I mean, I don't know. Like you can't leave them off in. Like it leaves such a good like place for Jade to have a moment and Bianca. Like there's so many storylines that can come out of this. You could have people turn on each other. Like there's so much that could come out of this match in general that just having it gives you potential to do things. It gives you more storyline potential, whereas there's not a ton of storyline potential right away. But they could have their own breakout moment, I think.
Part of me kind of hopes that this works well, and you can see chemistry either with Jade and Naomi, Jade and Bianca, or even Bianca and Naomi.
I mean,
like
Bianca Jade tag team,
exactly.
Feed families.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
And this could be a match that actually, like, I know I said the first match was going to be really fun. This one could, like, low key. I'm not a huge 6-man tag or 6-woman tag fan, but this one could, like. I'm doubting that it would steal the show completely, but it could be a match that like people will go back and watch for years to come.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you hit it on the head. Like it could be a match that you look back and you're like, oh, all right, remember that match? Like I will say, one of my favorite matches ever was freaking last year at Mania. I mean, Gunther, Drew, Sheamus.
Oh, that was electric.
I mean, that might have been the best match I've ever seen in my entire life. I guess what we should do, we should pick winners. By the way.
Okay, so I mean, for the first one, I will say this one. I think Ray. I'm not too invested in the story, so I don't know really where the ties are with where they're kind of going with this. I would want to say that Ray and Dragon Lee would get the win, but honestly, it wouldn't make sense why they would give Ray the win over Dominic 2 years in a row.
Yep. I was gonna say
I'm gonna go Dom.
I'm going Dom and Santos as well.
And I mean, it just makes most sense to me. And maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they have a better idea with how this can go from there. Tell you what, if Ray could come out again to Eddie's theme song, I'd take that in a heartbeat.
I mean, my favorite Dom move is the Three Amigos. I mean, the Three Amigos is one of the best, like one of my favorite wrestling moves of all time. Three Amigos is goated, and Dom does it actually really well. So I mean, like you said, Dom gets a great pop. Dom, great character he has going for him, and it's not dying off anytime soon. But I like Dom and Santos here.
And then for the next match, this one is interesting to me because again, it's not a filler. Calling it a filler match will actually, if in my opinion, degrades what this match could end up being. But you may have a better understanding of where the story is going. I will probably side with what I don't know. Is it obvious to take Jade, Bianca, and Naomi?
I don't know. I think I'm actually going to lead with the
It seems too obvious to choose Bianca, that like the team on the left, that I want to side with the team on the right.
Yeah, and it's not for the belts, right? So it's like I mean, I could really see. I don't know. This match kind of has my brain in a little.
I'll let you pick, and then we'll do a
pretzel.
coin flip. Whatever you pick, I'll take the opposite.
All right, I think I'm gonna take Damage Control, Dakota Kai, and the crew.
Okay.
I really just don't like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
This match, I have theories.
This match, okay. First off, this match is gonna be awesome. Like, this match will rule. This match will rule.
I have theories on what's gonna happen, and I'm not sure if have you seen the rumors that they're gonna take Austin Theory and
Waller out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen them, but who do you? Okay, first off, do you think Priest and Finn lose the belts? Yes or no?
Okay, so I don't know if you paid attention to Raw tonight. This is one of the theories. Speaking of theories, it's funny that we're talking about Austin Theory and theories, but Michael Cole mentioned that both belts have to be taken off the hook, as in like both belts have to be removed. Right. Is this how they're going to split them up?
I hope so. I've seen
like
that.
Imagine
theory.
If like that happens.
Oh, I hope so.
At the same time, I heard that Theory and Waller are going to be removed. I don't want this to happen because I know, not that I know, I have an idea of who they're going to replace them with, given that their contracts, or at least one half of the tag team's contracts, ended with AEW last March.
Okay, so who do you think they replace them with? Who's your thought?
Hardy Boys.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Because I think literally Matt's contract with AEW ended last month, and Jeff's still under contract. However, you can't have one without the other anymore, because neither of them are good at singles wrestling. So
that's true.
Let's be honest.
That is true. I'll admit that.
This one, I want The Miz and R-Truth.
Oh, I was gonna say the same thing. That's who I want to win. I at least have half of them. But the problem is, so I feel like if you split, you need to have like you need to have one on SmackDown, one on Raw. So if you look at the teams, that would have to be Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, or Theory and Waller.
or the Hardy Boys on SmackDown.
Or you put the Hardy Boys on SmackDown.
But you got to remember, you never know. They might make the Monday after Mania a shakeup.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. That's what this is what makes Mania freaking awesome. You have no idea what's gonna happen.
I'm honestly, just because I'm going with my heart, I'm going with Truth and Miz.
I am too. Awesome Truth is back, and I love the Awesome Truth. I mean, and the best part is our Truth's gonna do something, and that's what's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, he's gonna find a way to make it like a different gimmick match. He always does that. Like him showing up with the ladder at the Royal Rumble before.
Yep. Or him entering the wrong Rumble this year.
Yep.
Yep.
That was a classic. Hardy Boys are the surprise entrance that I would have. Keep an eye out on maybe the Dudley Boys doing one more curtain call here.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe the Dudley Boys I could see.
Imagine if Edge and Christian were in AEW right now.
Yeah. I will say, I could see New Day kind of getting it.
Hot take, and this is for a different pod. I'm tired of the New Day. It's ran its course. It's time.
The problem is they don't have anywhere else to go. So I don't know, but I hope the Awesome
break up. I don't want them to ever break up, but I don't
a new shtick.
Yeah. But I don't see Finn and Damian retaining at all.
Yeah, I don't either. I could honestly. I know I said
Truth and the Miz winning, and then Dunn and Bate.
Yeah, I think I would. I think I agree with that. And I was I know I said I could see Dom winning earlier, but I could also see a Judgment Day collapse. Everybody loses.
What if the surprise entrance, they get rid of Theory and Waller, and it's JD and Dom?
I have no idea. This is why I'm excited to watch. Right? I don't know what's gonna happen.
Or what if R-Truth gives one of the titles to Damian and
wins and then gives it to somebody? Right? I don't know. This has so much potential, and it will be awesome.
This match is the one I am so ready for, man. Jay versus Jimmy, the Usos. I mean, I think, what is it? Every 15 years we have a brother versus brother match. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart, and then Jeff Hardy versus Matt Hardy. Now we got Jay versus Jimmy. Yeet versus no yeet.
Yeet versus no yeet.
I'm telling you, they have not built this as well as I wanted them to.
Yeah, I feel like they got sidetracked with a little too much other stuff.
Too much bloodline.
Yeah, and this has so much potential to be so good, but again, you're right. I think it hasn't gotten built like it should. Still, I think it will be a very good match.
I'm going to go with Jimmy, dude.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. Because I don't think this is over. I don't know what the pay-per-view name is for the one after Mania, because I'm really focused on this weekend. But if it's Backlash or Extreme Rules, I could see a Falls Count Anywhere match coming out.
And I mean they are bringing back Clash at the Castle, so
I don't think this is the last time you'll see these two. It's a very underwhelming build, to the point where I think this is I don't see a clean finish.
Yeah,
I think Solo Sikoa gets involved with Jimmy. With the match, helps Jimmy win. That's my theory.
Yeah, I think. I think Jimmy wins. I agree. I think Jimmy wins. I think this wasn't built as much.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't built as much because I think they'll main event something else.
Yep. This is the match. I know this next match upsets you. I know it does.
I know. This make me so mad.
So we got, for the Intercontinental title, Gunther versus Sami Zayn. And here, you can go on your little soapbox.
Why is this not Mr. Chad Gable? That's my soapbox. Why is this not Chad Gable? I don't understand. I simply don't. Gunther has to win this. Gunther wins this.
You can't. So
Gunther wins this. He has to lose to Chad Gable.
This is foreshadowing the night 2 main event, but you cannot have the two record-breaking reigns both lose in the same weekend. They need to be respectfully lost in separate times.
In Gunther, Well, I don't think he should. And you know what? Maybe I'm glad this isn't Chad because Chad's gonna win it from him. Mr. Gable is gonna win
SummerSlam.
is gonna win it from him.
He'll win at
And so
SummerSlam.
maybe I'm glad it's not here because,
This
like
is
you
going to
said,
be another great match. Like the problem is that they have put together some great matches. It's just some of them have had underwhelming builds, or they're just not the
yeah,
right opponents for each other.
yeah. Well, and like Sammy always delivers.
Yes, and
Like
it's another
he
one of
always
those
delivers.
situations where, like, I think if he didn't main event Mania last year, he wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah,
Because another one from that tag team main event from last year's Mania is also in a title match, which he deserves to be in it as well. But with this one, I don't know. I think Gunther easily, like, not easily. It's going to be a good match.
it'll be a good match, but I think Gunther wins this,
Yeah.
and I could maybe see something like. Actually, I don't think there's gonna be. I think Gunther wins.
I think he wins clean.
Yeah, I think so too.
However, you don't think, because you saw Raw tonight, right?
Yeah.
So we're recording here on a Monday. This will probably get posted on Wednesday or Thursday. But, like, didn't he, like, throw and, like, beat the crap out of Gable?
Yeah. Well, so that's my thing. Like, I could see Gable maybe helping Sammy,
So you
but
think so the only way I see Sammy winning is if he has help from Gable.
yeah, and then maybe you could do like a Gable versus like I don't know. I just feel like
I
there's
think
no way.
Gable beating Gunther would be better because they've had so many good matches already. Have one more and let him win. He deserves the Intercontinental title. He has proven that he's deserved it.
Sammy, and it was tough because, like you said, it didn't get built great, but Sammy also needed a match, and he was honestly running out of places to put him.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if you have to substitute, like I get it.
Yeah, and when we get to the main event, I have a good comparison for this Mania, just because I feel like I've seen this before in a different kind of way, but we'll get to that later. But a lot of these matches that could have been built really well have been undervalued compared to the main event, obviously. But yeah, I could see Sammy winning this one. I probably would give it more of a 75-25 situation.
Yeah.
However, the crowd would pop because Sammy's one of the most over guys and will always be one of the most over guys.
He won't ever be non-over.
So, but who do I want to win? I want Gunther to win because he needs to lose on his own weekend.
Yep, I want. Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah,
dude,
great match right here. I know you're like,
no, it's banger after banger.
Yeah, this is going to be a freaking great match.
I'm going to be upset with who I think is going to win.
You think Becky wins?
I mean, why wouldn't she?
I know, but like Rhea is like one of the best women's champs ever.
Yeah, and you know what WWE's good at? Squashing squashing title reigns when they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, there's that.
And that's no hate on them. They want to have.
Yeah, you want to have
not
that.
Get stale. There's because things get stale. Roman was stale for about a year, and then all of a sudden the bloodline stuff kicked up, and then all of a sudden here we are, and I'm still enjoying stuff that Roman's doing.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about the Judgment Day falling apart, and I feel like this might be something that contributes to it. That's why I think all of Judgment Day is going to lose all their gold. I think they're all losing.
I could see that. I could see everybody from Judgment Day losing, but I don't know what you do with Rhea. I guess it gives you time because you can have the whole Judgment Day breakdown for like a couple months, and then you can figure out what you're going to do with Rhea. But I mean, Rhea is like deserves to do nothing less than like top of the line stuff.
Yeah. And of course, if you're listening to our audio podcast, we're talking about Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch for the women's world title, and Rhea Ripley is the champ. I think she just hit 365 days either today or yesterday, and has been, in my opinion, the strongest champion outside of Gunther and the entire roster. Has put on some amazing matches, but she's going up against Becky Lynch, who has a very good WrestleMania track record of winning titles. So that's another thing why I'm siding with Becky. And I don't know. This match I'm actually really excited for, to the point where it's setting me up for disappointment if that makes sense. Because I don't want Becky to win, but I think it's going to be a good match.
If somebody messes with this match, I'm going to be so mad.
Rhea needs to win. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah.
This
match needs to just be how it is. Like, these two mano-a-mano meet me in a ring. How we doing? Like, that's what it needs to be. If anybody gets in there and starts messing with it, I'm going to be so mad.
But JD or Dom's going to get involved. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Maybe. But I don't know.
But I don't think the match will end non-clean. I think it'll be a clean finish.
It should be. Like I said, if they get in there and something, I will be upset if it's not.
I could see like Dom getting in there and like trying to help, and all of a sudden he actually like messes up and that costs her the title, which could result in that whole like dissolving of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
But who knows? I think Becky wins. I don't. Who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with Rhea.
Okay. And then we wrap up night one with a match that I think is going to disappoint me. I'm telling you.
So
Roman Reigns and The Rock.
Just saw that to wrap up Raw, Seth was fighting Solo.
Mm-hmm.
Match ends, whatever. Rock comes out, starts beating up Seth. Then Cody comes out. They go.
I thought he wasn't cleared to be here tonight.
Right, he had like a big cut on his head.
Yeah.
They went to go put Rock through the announce table. Then Roman came out of the stand, saved Rock. Then they both beat up. Then Roman hit like a Superman punch and a spear on each of them. And then they started. Rock took the belt, his Cody mimic belt, and then started, beating him up. So that's how Raw ended tonight.
So Roman and Dwayne, The Rock,
the final boss, if you will,
the final boss with one of the best walkouts,
potentially the best walkout of all time. Like this WrestleMania walkout will maybe be the best of all.
Chills. You know how he always goes up to the camera and he's like, goosebumps.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I will have goosebumps at home as well.
It will be a very
versus the world heavyweight champion Seth Rollins and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Winner not necessarily decides. The winner establishes what the stipulation for the main event of night 2, where if Cody wins, Bloodline's barred from ringside and involvement in the main event. If The Rock and Roman wins, Bloodline rules. Anything goes, which they could have just said that, but I get the gimmick of keeping the Bloodline involved.
Yeah.
This match has been built great. I have enjoyed it, and this is why a lot of the other matches have been left behind is because of, and honestly, the world heavyweight title match that's on night 2 is also undervalued because of this match in the main event.
But that one has also been built pretty good.
Yes. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Who do you think is going to win?
I think it's going to be a very good match. I'm interested to see how the final boss holds up, I'll be honest. I mean, the final boss came back to Colorado when College Game Day was there. Hit like a spine buster in a people's elbow and looked absolutely gassed. Like, so gassed. Now, that was a long time ago.
It's a tag match.
It's a tag match. So like Roman.
But Roman's also a slow wrestler too.
Right. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I really think Rock and Roman win though. I think Rock and Roman.
I hate agreeing with you, man.
I don't see how you completely eliminate Bloodline from night 2.
That's what I'm saying. They came up with the stipulation. I was like, well, now you can't not use it.
Yeah, like, I feel like it's telling me who's going to win. But also, since, Mr. H is always in his bag, I could totally be like, wait, what? I could totally see how I could get absolutely confused.
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, Cody and Rollins winning in this situation makes no sense for the story.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Maybe for a good pop, The Rock.
Yeah, it would get a good pop. I would agree.
But The Rock and Roman need to win.
Yes.
And are they going to win clean? No, because it's Roman. Let's be honest. Roman never wins clean.
Right.
So I want to see what Bloodline rules would incorporate. So I'm definitely going Rock as well. Rock and Roman.
I don't see how. You're right. The rule stipulation almost feels like it tells me what's going to happen.
if they go through with this and they have Rhodes and Rollins win, I need something on Sunday needs to happen that completely shocks me then, because
I
again,
agree.
you can't build up to this whole thing of, oh, if we win, we get this stipulation and then not use that stipulation. That's like saying, oh, it's like last year, but last year it made sense. Oh, Rhodes is going to win the title easy, and then he doesn't. By the way, I know that people didn't like that. That is one of the greatest moves in WrestleMania history.
Totally agree.
Having Reigns beat Rhodes last year in the title match. By the way, like how many WrestleManias have you watched live?
Live, I probably 6, 7.
Okay, because I'm trying to think. I think this will be my 12th. Holy crap!
Yeah, you were locked in way before I remember watching and doing stuff, but I was never like locked in like you were until like you kind of put me on in high school, and then since then I was
WrestleMania 27 was the first ever WrestleMania that I watched. And it started off with an absolute 18-second banger, with Sheamus absolutely kicking the crap out of Daniel Bryan for the world title. Hell in a Cell match between Triple H and The Undertaker. Okay, soapbox time on that.
Here we go.
You call it the end of the era, and then those guys proceed to wrestle more after that match.
Right. For like another. Yeah.
I'm okay with Triple H wrestling a couple more matches after that. That match was so good, so well built, and ended well. Had special guest referee with Shawn Michaels. It should have been Undertaker's last match.
I agree.
It should have been Undertaker's last match. If it wasn't that, it should have been at WrestleMania 30. And at the same time, I don't know if looking back when, of course, I know he's got stuff off, not involving the business, but when Lesnar beat The Undertaker, it was so shocking because no one really thought it was going to ever happen. And now that it's happened, it was great when it happened because I was like, oh, this is amazing. Never thought I would ever see this. And now that 10 years removed, 10 years to this year, I kind of wish it didn't happen. And I kind of wish that it didn't happen. Kind of wish that Roman never beat him. I kind of wish that The Undertaker never lost because it gets rid of the whole mystique of him winning at Mania.
Yeah. I mean, Undertaker. Yeah. Undertaker's the Undertaker, right? Like that's nobody disputes that.
So you got that match at WrestleMania 27, Punk and Jericho, where Punk gets disqualified. Punk loses the title.
Walls of Jericho. What a guy.
Funny that we have this graphic up because it involves one of my heated opinions, involves one of the guys on here. But that could have main evented Mania.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't for the guy on the bottom right of that poster.
Yep.
However, that match between him and Cena is one of the greatest matches I have ever seen.
I mean, speaking of that, when Rock was beating up Cody last week on Raw, we did see the truck trailer that had a couple of guys on it.
Do you want to say those guys?
I mean, could they potentially make an appearance in this match?
No,
I don't think so either.
I will say that if he shows up for a surprise match, would not shock me.
I would not be shocked, but I don't think it happens.
Cena will not be there. I will say the following year, keeping on the soapbox of how Punk probably should have main evented in a Mania at some point. If you can't tell by my hoodie, biased. But that we did Rock versus Cena 2 at WrestleMania 29 in New York. And it was not as good. I think Rock tore something like 2 minutes into the match.
Yeah.
Punk had such a good title reign that it should have ended at Mania. And it should have been versus John Cena. Yeah. As a CM Punk fan, I would have been completely okay with him losing a main event at WrestleMania and dropping the title. But he dropped the title to the man on this graphic.
Yeah.
In the bottom right. And it wasn't even the best match of that night. You know what the best match of WrestleMania 29 was?
Let's hear it.
CM Punk versus The Undertaker.
If you ever hear Brock say, like, You know what the best match was? And CM Punk like was even remotely near like the ring that night. It's gonna be that match.
Not true.
Well, I guess I will say, okay, winner in this, you got Bloodline.
Yep. I'm
Okay,
going Bloodline. You got it.
I'm going Bloodline also. But staying on topic of CM Punk, if we go to night 2, will we have a CM Punk appearance?
I guess, do we want to talk about that match first, or do we want to?
I mean, doesn't matter to me, but night 2, Brock will be absolutely locked in for the potential of a CM Punk appearance.
So,
well, I guess he's gonna be there.
Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the world title, assuming that Seth Rollins doesn't absolutely get destroyed.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I bet you there's some storyline of him being hurt in this match,
or Cody or Roman. Like, yes, out of those guys, somebody is gonna be dragging the next day. Yep. That will be a storyline. Yes.
So I guess we'll talk about this match right away. Even though I'm not sure, it's not a bad match to open up with. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I also agree. Yeah, I agree.
But yes, I do think Punk is going to get involved. I mean, he's kind of hinted at commentary. I want him on commentary.
Hinted commentary,
I want him and Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
on the mic. That's what we need in this world. And I will say I'm not a fan of who they're kind of hyping up, who his first rivalry is going to be when he gets back.
Drew.
I don't think him and Drew would put on a good match together. I don't see the combo fitting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think the match would be great, but I think the build-up would be awesome. Like we've already seen, they just absolutely cook each other.
Great, but like I don't think like the match would happen. I'm not saying that Punk can't handle him. It's just that he handled well with Lesnar, but like that was also in 2013.
Yeah, Punk is significantly different wrestler. Like you almost have to treat him as like a bigger dude now because you can't do as much stuff like that he used to be able to do.
So I don't know. I'm a little worried about that. But getting back to this match, hasn't been hyped up as much as I wish it would be, because really Rollins should be focused on one match. I love the tag team idea. It's great, and it's going to do really well. The build has been great, but this match should have been the sole focus the entire time because like people forget about it. It could have main evented night 1.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I'm assuming that it probably was going to be Rollins versus Punk in the night 1 if Punk didn't tear his tricep.
Yeah.
Do you think Rollins is going to lose? Is going to be the first question.
Yeah, I actually think Drew wins.
Okay, I'm going to go with Rollins because we're sticking with this whole Judgment Day falling apart thing.
Yeah.
Night after Mania, Monday night, Damian Priest is going to cash in.
No, okay.
And Finn's going to screw him.
Yeah, I can see it. Especially if Priest screws him at the night before.
Or they have like some kind of disagreement.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's going to build up.
I just don't think, like, in terms of cash-in, I think they thought Priest was ready, and I think they realized, he ain't. So I think they're been trying to figure out a way to not necessarily, like, get rid of the cash-in, but, like,
they need to have him cash in on Monday or Sunday. Monday, Saturday. Middle of the tag team match. Just cash in 1, 2, 3, walk out with the title.
That'd be awesome. Or you just how about he just cashes in on like one person? How about no. How about Miz and Truth win? He cashes in just on Truth, takes the belt from Truth, and now him and Miz are a team or something. Oh God. That's so funny.
Dude, the money. Okay, get rid of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view and bring it back to Mania as a match.
Yeah, I can see that. The problem is they will never do that because they need money. But I think the point stands of I think they thought Priest was ready.
Yep.
They've given him like literally 6-7 months. Still ain't.
He's a good wrestler.
He is.
He's just not. He's not a heavyweight. He's not a champion.
And his mic skills ain't good enough. Like,
no,
he's okay on the mic, and not everybody has to be great on the mic. But I think like
Finn is the best in that group. That's a male.
Yeah. And Finn is really good. People sleep. Finn is like nearing my AJ Styles level of like random guy that is so good.
He should maybe that's what they do. Maybe they let he gives the briefcase to Finn for whatever damn reason that they have. I don't know.
Or he does hose Finn and then he does cash in or something, and then Finn can beef with him and Finn can win the title. Or so I don't know, but
something. I
will.
think a cash in will happen. Okay, it's April 1st. While we're recording, I know it's April Fool's Day. The next month.
Yeah.
Within the next month, that briefcase will be cashed in. Whether or not they actually pull the trigger on Damian being a world heavyweight champion, we will see.
Yeah.
This next match we can kind of go through quickly. It's going to be a street fight. Bobby Lashley, and then this. I guess they have names now for these groups.
Yeah,
right?
the Pride versus the Final Testament, or are they? Yeah, they're the Final Testament, aren't they?
I think so.
I don't know. Like,
I hit both names suck.
I don't.
So
and
it's Bobby. In my opinion, it's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits
against Karrion Kross.
Against Karrion Kross and the oh shoot, what were they called? Oh, what was the group called?
Were they Authors of Pain?
Yes, Authors of Pain. That's what it was. Man, also, by the way, they came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they did.
We're like, oh, by the way, we forgot
Authors of Pain.
We signed these guys like 2 years ago again,
and they haven't been doing anything in NXT, but here they are. Oh, okay.
This is gonna just be a bloodbath.
Yeah, this is what you call meat on meat right here. Yep. This is just big boys, big boy grilling on the roof match.
This is a filler match. It's gonna be all right.
This one I would say filler match, and that's okay. You got to have some of those. So I don't know. I don't really care who wins this. I just watching. As a friend of the program says, I just hope everyone has fun.
Well, they're not gonna have fun because
they're gonna be in a street
fight. Who are you going with?
Oh man, I think I'm gonna take Bobby Lashley and Street Profits.
Same.
Just because I think they'll be around longer, like it'll be add to their resume a little bit more than the other guys. Like the other guys, I feel like will just be like, okay. Oh yeah.
Right. You just mentioned this guy earlier, AJ Styles versus Mr. LA Knight.
I'm taking AJ Styles. I've told you this. I think I've said this on a couple of our pods we've done about wrestling. AJ LA Knight to me, I'm okay. Like, all right, buddy, I get it.
You're already off it.
I'm already off LA Knight. I've always been an AJ Styles guy. So,
well, who's your top 5 wrestlers, or top 3?
Current or like all time?
Top 3 or top 5 all time? You can choose.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, Undertaker's obviously up there for me. Undertaker might be my one. Honestly, I freaking love the Undertaker. Are we talking like overall aura or like just freaking wrestling? If we were talking just wrestling moves, I'd put AJ Styles like, if not, maybe number 1.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is the deepest bag I've ever seen.
Just overall, just because,
dude,
if you're like, I'm gonna watch something wrestling wise, and you had the choice of who you'd watch, because for me, no like specific order, but like I think AJ Styles is up there.
Yeah, AJ Styles is my top 10. Easy, maybe.
I'm a dude,
like 7 or 6, maybe.
AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. I will say I think Roman's in my top 3.
I knew you would say that. You know what? AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels, Seth Rollins, Eddie Guerrero, and CM Punk.
I was going to be absolutely mind blown if you didn't have CM Punk in there.
Eddie Guerrero is up there. I think it's those two are my 2 favorites of all time. Him and CM Punk and Eddie. Eddie versus Lesnar and No Way Out, man, is one of the best matches I've ever watched. The reaction to when Eddie actually won the WWE title is one of my favorite moments of all time as a wrestling fan. I know that like I was like 4 when that happened, but like I still watch it I think I watch that match at least 2 or 3 times a year.
You know who I also really like? Bautista.
Batista, man.
Love Batista, man.
Best former wrestler that became an actor. Guarantee it. Best actor. I will be on record saying that.
I think, obviously, I feel like my list it could change on the day. Like literally tomorrow could be different.
Yeah.
The top, honestly, my top 2 is probably Undertaker, Roman. I will be honest; those are probably my top 2.
Punk and Eddie for me,
and then I would like Shawn. I mean, Shawn's good. I really liked Triple H. Like I think Triple H was good. I mean, I have so many good options. I mean, Mick Foley might be in my top 10. Mick Foley's awesome. Like,
I love Mick Foley.
there's so many good guys. Oh, how about Macho Man Randy Savage? Like, Randy
Macho
Savage,
Man's my dad's favorite, man. I
like,
tell you what, him versus Steamboat at WrestleMania 3.
dude.
By the way, if probably doesn't shock Max, but everybody on the podcast probably needs to know that I have watched legit every WrestleMania.
I will say, I think if you ask
COVID
every
helps.
like old head that's like a wrestling person, and you bring up like Macho Man Randy Savage, they're like, oh yeah, Randy Savage.
I tell you what, Macho Man. No, CM Punk is this generation's Macho Man because any other era he would have been the guy.
Yeah,
but he was held back by the guy in a stupid red and yellow T-shirt.
Okay.
And then the guy that changes his T-shirt color every other month in this era. But again, only one of them I will refer to by their name, and that's John Cena, because he is certified. He is the certified GOAT.
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't know. There's too many good ones to pick, but I think Undertaker, Roman are my top two. This match, I got AJ Styles.
I'm going LA Knight. I think they got to give him his moment.
Yeah,
but at the same time, AJ really
hasn't
had his moment either at WrestleMania. I don't know if he's won one.
I don't know either, but I just refuse to pick LA Knight, so I'm not picking him.
Dude is off the LA Knight train. That's cool. This is a weird match. I'm telling you.
I think this is a weird match.
Doesn't make any sense to me. For the United States title, we got Logan Paul as the current champ, who has proven that he's not just a YouTuber. He's actually a really good professional wrestler. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
And I think because this is for the U.S. championship, I'm going to go Kevin Owens.
Oh, really?
Yep. I don't think Randy needs this belt. I don't think this is a belt for Randy. I don't think this is a story Randy needs to have. I think Randy needs to get back to bigger and better.
You don't think Logan's winning?
No, I think Kevin wins. I honestly really think Kevin wins. I think Logan's had it for long enough. I think if you want the belt to just like keep continually getting notoriety as like for Logan, sure, but I think it's good enough. I think Kevin wins.
I was playing a little devil's advocate because I'm going Kevin as well. Everybody, okay. Back to that top 5. That I don't even know why I didn't even refer to Kevin. I love Kevin more than AJ. Yeah. You know that.
Yeah, like Kevin is awesome. Kevin is maybe my top 10 also. And I've said that about like 7 guys, so my top 10 is like also almost full.
Kevin Owens is what I would look like if I grew out my beard and tried to grow my hair out and spike it up.
Kevin also has no regard for human life, even his own, which makes it awesome. And potential match of Mania.
Io Sky, women's champion, just WWE Women's Champion versus the Royal Rumble winner for the women's side, Bayley.
This has to be Bayley, right?
Yeah. No,
Bayley deserves this moment so much. Like Bayley backpacked for so long, especially during COVID. Bayley freaking backpacked the women's division for so long. She deserves her flowers. She deserves this. I think Bayley wins this.
I really hope this match doesn't disappoint.
I hope so, not either.
Any other result other than Bayley winning will actually shock me.
And I hope Io just doesn't like spam moonsault.
Playing WWE 2K24, just spamming the same button over and over again.
Right.
Yeah, Bayley wins, becomes champion. I don't see anything else really happening besides that. We already talked about Rollins versus McIntyre. We got the main event.
The main event.
Roman Reigns, the WWE undisputed Universal Champion, alongside Paul Heyman. By the way,
shout out Paul Heyman.
Yes.
Thank you, Paul. You are the wisest man in the room.
ECW, baby. ECW.
Roman, I acknowledge you. Paul, I acknowledge you.
Versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, who won the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row. If you ask me whether or not I thought that was the right move, I will not.
Yeah, that would take another hour.
Yeah, I won't be speaking on that. But I guess it's probably the best move possible with what the cards were dealt. Yeah. So we got Roman versus Cody part 2 for the title again in the main event of night 2 again at a Mania. Go figure, Roman's main eventing another Mania.
Right.
We're talking about the guy in the yellow and red T-shirt. This guy's, I think, almost main evented more than that guy. Yeah. Go ahead, go on record. This is. Are you? We're both assuming bloodline rules.
Yep. And I guess here's my pick. I'm acknowledging my tribal chief.
You think he's winning again?
I do. I'm acknowledging my tribal chief.
Reason?
Because he's the tribal chief. And
When
I
do
remember.
you
You
have
remember
a
that
reason?
quote? You remember the quote of also. I think if Roman loses, him saying, "Oh, I'm leaving," is not true. That just ain't true. He could go Hollywood. I could see he ain't leaving though. Do you remember the quote? That was, "We are not nearing the end. We are not even in the second inning," by none other than Paul Heyman. I don't think they're even in the 8th inning. I think they're still like in the 6th, and for that reason, I'm acknowledging my tribal chief.
Do you remember? I think what's our Royal Rumble episode where I said that I think that he's going to be holding the title until next Mania.
Yeah,
and then he's going to lose it to The Rock.
Yeah,
I've changed my mind
okay.
because of because of night one's main event.
Yeah,
I know we were talking about how Judgment Day is starting to fall apart.
right.
Somehow, some way, either Solo, Jimmy, or even Roman pisses off The Rock.
And you don't want to do that.
And part of me wonders this is why they would have Cody and Rollins win night one. I'm still sticking with Cody and Rollins losing.
Yeah.
However, like, what if they did lose? I mean, they did win, and somehow The Rock was got screwed,
Well,
or
okay.
was the reason they lost.
Yeah.
And The Rock ends up, instead of not being a part of the bloodline, because those are the only people barred from ringside,
Right.
flips and helps Cody win.
Yeah, I could. Okay, and I like on that same thought. Tonight, Seth Rollins said, "It's pedal to the metal, and if you know anything about me, it's always that I have a plan B." Could that mean Cody and
Dust
Seth
is coming back? I'm completely kidding. He's still under Dustin Rhodes is still under contract with AEW.
But could that mean that Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes lose, and Seth Rollins turns to help out an old friend from a faction called the Shield? And then I'm acknowledging my tribal chief. Dun dun dun. He's always got a plan B. No bloodline ringside. You know who's not bloodline? Seth freaking Rollins.
That might work.
But he always has a plan B.
But
I'm speechless.
Dude, now you got my brain rolling. I know that he retired, because now I got another idea. You know who he's referring to, right?
Yeah.
Okay, who? Who is he referring to?
Well, you say it. I want to make sure I'm on the same page.
No. I want you to.
In that quote, who's he referring to? Well, now you got my brain. And I thought I was for sure on that, but now you're making me think about it.
Dude, you don't know who he's referring to, do you?
Oh, I thought I did, but now I'm second guessing myself. Oh. Who do you have it as?
Do you not remember who said that he always has a plan B?
Well, I feel like that's been said a lot of times.
But I'm talking about when when the Shield fell apart.
Was it not the tribal chief?
The reason that Seth turned on Reigns and Ambrose is because someone said that he always has a plan B. What if he's referring to as the plan B as someone that he's going to call an old friend for some help? And the guy that he's calling in for some help is someone who once said that same thing. My boy Triple H is coming back. Dude, imagine.
You had me in an absolute twister right there. I was so confused.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Imagine like, oh, we gotta wrap this up quick. But imagine like TKO, is the president now. You get Rock to win a night, and then you get Triple H to come out of nowhere, and he saves Roman or something. Dude, that'd be awesome.
By the way, I don't think that's happening whatsoever.
I don't either.
Dean
That's
Ambrose
why you had my
isn't
brain in
showing
a
up either.
twister.
Dustin Rhodes isn't showing up either. I do think Cody wins, though. I just think that they wouldn't do this 2 years in a row.
That's what you think.
They're wasting because Cody will have a title at some point. No, stop. Stop. Don't even sing that song. Cody, if it doesn't happen this year, it will never feel legit or as good as it would this year. That's why
I agree. Like if Cody doesn't win it this year.
And I told you the John Cena theory, where he's literally just went through the John Cena trilogy from WrestleMania 27 to WrestleMania 29. I mean, 28 to 29.
28.
I definitely messed up the numbers when talking about WrestleMania 28 earlier in the show. By the way, WrestleMania 27, that was the one in Atlanta, Georgia, when The Miz and Cena main evented.
I love The Miz, man.
The worst WrestleMania of all time.
Okay.
The worst WrestleMania of all time.
All right. Brock coming in hot there.
Dude, really the best match probably was Punk versus Orton that year.
Yeah.
Or Triple H versus,
here we go.
Or Triple H versus The Undertaker. I think it was No Holds Barred that year.
Here we go with the CM.
Dude, the other matches, Jerry the King Lawler versus Michael Cole.
I riled him up.
Dude, okay. Rey Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes was a good match, but like The Miz versus Cena, you got Peacock. Go watch that tomorrow. I will pay you to watch that match tomorrow. And then you tell me that was a good match.
I riled him up on accident.
So I got Cody winning.
I got my tribal chief. So that's all the matches.
Which is funny because last year we were reversed. I had Cody winning and I had Roman winning.
Yeah, so
I think you were pissed.
I was a little angry
that Cody lost.
I was angry, but now I must respect my tribal chief. So love you, tribal chief. So I'm rocking with the tribal chief. That is all we got for this episode. Kept it under an hour this time. Shout out us. Myself, Brock Beirman, second episode of the week. Be sure to check out our first episode of the week, talking all things Final Four for the men's and the women's side. That one's out before this, but check out that one if you haven't. And as always, we'll see you on the flip side of the WrestleMania, and acknowledge your tribal chief.
Acknowledge me.